Hello, my name is Merritt Krotzel. I'm the Vice President of Engineering for Compass North. I'll be the primary contact for the Pilot App Modernization and Consolidation Project. So, a quick high-level overview. Compass North is an aircraft management software platform developed to streamline the business side of private, business, and corporate aviation operations. Is a aircraft management software platform developed to streamline the business side of private, business, and corporate aviation operations. From the trip creation to expense tracking, both private aircraft managers and pilots can easily communicate details, log information, and view aggregated reports through our Manager Hub and free mobile app. We've been working on this project for several years with very limited resources, and the time has now come to modernize and redesign our stack in order to continue moving forward with the product. What we'd like to do with this project is kind of modernize our existing front-end app and implement a progressive web app layer within that, specifically to be able to work on offline first and syncing capabilities. We'd like to redesign the server to be more on demand in a serverless or microservice architecture. And we need to rework some of the data models that have just become messy over, the last 5 or so years of changes and, different directions and that sort of business. But the long-term goal for this project is to create a prototype or a proof of concept that may later go into production. So here's a quick overview of our current high-level architecture. On the left, you see we currently have a React iOS app. It's very out of date, doesn't have our modern design with it. It's older versions of React and JavaScript and all those things. So we're basically gonna completely cut that one out. It has its own data sync layer for offline capabilities, but we're hoping to roll that all into the React web app, which is currently just a front end app for the time being. The back end, actually there's more to it than this, but there's kind of 2 different servers right now. Just traditional always on servers providing the API, and then a MySQL database at the bottom. So what we're hoping to do is kind of convert our existing front end React app into, upgrade some of the versions, implement a progressive web app and a data sync layer to, store data offline for pilots that are not able to be online for, various reasons. And then we would also like to implement probably a Lambda-based on-demand microservice serverless type backend API, and then probably a more modern database like Postgres, which I'm more familiar with than anything else lately. So here's some of the technologies that we'd like to use. We're open to suggestions. If any students have better ideas on how to accomplish what we're trying to get done with this project. So certainly this is not exhaustive, and we'd be up for negotiation as well. But just for starters, Node with TypeScript preferably, progressive web app, Postgres database, Tailwind CSS. We have quite a few design assets, and the front end, which there'll be a link later on where if you go to the site, you can kind of check out what we have currently. And then, yeah, we'd like to be on AWS. I'm just more familiar with that personally, but we can make the argument to do something on Azure or something like that as well. And then, yeah, Amazon RDS. I think they call it Aurora now, is the on-demand kind of serverless database instance. So here's a little bit about who you are, or who we're looking for anyway. And, I should note that we're not expecting people to have this experience already. Just an interest is what we're looking for. So if any of these things pique your interest, consider our project. So primarily data modeling. Like I said, we need to kind of redesign how the data is structured and how everything relates to each other. We went through a bunch of iterations in the beginning, and just needs to be kind of, some things need to go away, some things need to be expanded and organized a little bit better, and those sort of things. So that'll be probably one of the first steps for the team. It's an opportunity to work with an existing prototype. You'll be kind of re-engineering our existing iOS app and kind of bridging that together with our front-end React app. So it's a little bit of working with existing stuff, a little bit of greenfield development, mostly greenfield, but yeah, there is some existing stuff that will need to mostly be reworked. So it's an opportunity for an offline first, progressive web app design, work with serverless and microservice architectures, solicit for business requirements from us, pilots, whoever we can get in contact with. Testing and QA stuff. Maybe some third-party integrations if we get that far. Things like integrating with a payment service or weather, things like that. There's a lot of aviation-related APIs out there that we could harness and leverage for use within this app if we make it that far. And then, yeah, TypeScript, Postgres, modern React, so some fairly modern frameworks. And then just the opportunity to work with a pre-seed funding startup. So to get a little bit more into that, so Compass North is basically just us. It's a family business. We've been working on it off and on for a few years, like I said. But we just haven't had the resources to be able to, really accomplish what we were hoping to. So that's where this project comes in. So, but yeah, on the main stakeholders there. So on the left, Don Krotzel, that's my dad, executive stakeholder, president. So he is a successful software company entrepreneur. He started a company in Lincoln and sold it about 10 years ago. So he has experience with startups and software and all that. He's also been a private pilot his whole life. Technically, he has a commercial license, but he doesn't fly for the airlines and that sort of thing. And he's also a UNL alumni. And then on the right, you have me, Merrick. I'll be the tech lead on this project, VP of engineering. I have a lot of experience doing like full stack development and architecting solutions. And I'm also a UNL computer science alumni as well. So that's about it for my presentation. Like I said, feel free to please visit our website, compassnorth.aero, to get a little bit more extensive, overview of what we currently have, and just kind of get a feel for what the product really is. It probably does a better job of explaining it than I have.